We'd just like to welcome you to our very exciting Princess Cunard Expedia Cruises presentation. My name is Shawn Friesen, and I'm joined by the lovely, the talented, the one, the only Christine Kelly from Princess and Cunard, one of the best friends of Expedia Cruises and Team Friesen. So before I turn it over to Christine, I just wanted to let you know just a little bit about Team Friesen. And that's me and my lovely wife cruising the Danube, beautiful cruise. But we've been travel agents since 2007. We opened up our first center in Thunder Bay, and we will be open 15 years next month. So happy anniversary to us. I have now six locations, and that's actually the next slide, so I won't talk about that yet. I have a wonderful team of 190 consultants. We're based from Kenora to North Bay, Windsor to Toronto. I like to think of them as the most knowledgeable, the most talented group of travel professionals that you could ever have the privilege of working with. We've spent COVID training and working on product knowledge and just making sure that when travel returns, and ladies and gentlemen, it's here. The time is now to travel. We would be ready. So we are super ready. Back in 2019, my stores, we had 8,500 passengers travel that were booked by us. So you want us to book your trip. I could just get the next slide. And the next slide is a lovely slide, and it's a map. And this is just showing you, we have 6 stores: Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay, Woodstock, and Windsor. And if you just want to click it one more time, we will be opening 2 stores in late 22, Sarnia and Chatham, and one more click. And in 23, Shawn, are you crazy? Maybe St. Thomas and Aurelia will join the Team Friesen montage. So I really believe in the travel industry. I believe now more than ever, after 24 months of sitting at home, it's time for us to make up for lost time. We've missed birthdays, holidays, Christmas. We've missed way too much. Let's make every trip count. And that's why we wanted to bring on Christine to talk about her exciting product. I think I've got a couple more slides before I get going there. Yes, here's my team. And we travel the world. We make sure that the product that we're going to send you on is going to be great. Matter of fact, I am sailing on Saturday on the Caribbean Princess doing a Panama Canal cruise. So we not just talk about the product, but we actually sail aboard the product too. Last slide. 2 more slides. My team, why do you want to book with us? My team has traveled around the world. We are passionate travelers. We're so excited to get back out there. And suppliers will never sell for less than they let the travel agent sell. So you want to deal with us. We don't charge extra fees to deal with us. We have group space. We are currently taking out space on 23 and 24. You want to deal with us. And when Christine is done, this is where you want to talk to us. Call us up. Talk to your consultant who gave you the link to join us here tonight, and we want to be your travel agent. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Christine and walk us through. We want to talk about 2022 product. We want to talk about Alaska, Europe, some Cunard product. It's time to travel, and we want to find out where can we go right now. So take it away, Christine.
Thanks, Shawn, and welcome everyone. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us this evening for this very special presentation. And yes, some great news today about antigen tests not having to come back into the country starting April 1st. This is great news for all of us. It is a step in the right direction to getting back to travel, getting back to feeling more comfortable and seeing the world. And as Shawn mentioned, it is clear that we have put aside a lot of celebrations, a lot of getting together with family and friends. Now is the time to make those plans. Let's get together, and with Princess and Cunard and Shawn and the team, we have some great offers to help you achieve this goal. So I am going to start off with Cunard. And some of you may know about Cunard that we have 3 ships, Queen Mary II, the Queen Elizabeth, and the Queen Victoria. But Christine, why are you showing us a picture of 4 ships? Well, just in case you know, or you don't know, is Cunard is getting a 4th ship. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Queen Anne. Queen Anne will be joining our fleet, woohoo, in 2024. Can you believe this? This is unbelievable. 2024, and she will be on sale coming this May 2022. So if you want to get on our newest ship, 4th ship in our fleet, Queen Anne, you can start booking with Shawn and his team starting May of this year. And of course, Cunard is luxury on a grand scale. We have so many things that you can explore, including an afternoon tea at sea, the beautiful crumpets, the fresh cream and berries. I mean, hopefully you've all eaten, so I'm not going to make you too hungry, but it is a definite experience to do our afternoon tea. We have large open spaces. We've got a beautiful spa, a double-decker library, the largest library at sea, for you to be able to sit back and relax. When was the last time you grabbed a book, sat down and read it? You may have the little tablet, you may have all those, but grabbed a beautiful book and just sat down and immersed yourself in that. You can do that on Cunard. This is just a beautiful picture of our grand lobby as you walk in to see this magnificent ocean liner at sea, as well as our fantastic games deck, very open. It's quite different from a traditional cruise ship. It's an ocean liner, and the hull on the Queen Mary II is cut as a V at the front. So that's able to cut through those big waves that we have at times when you're doing a transatlantic. But again, because the way the ship is designed, you do not feel those huge waves as you're sailing on Cunard. It is a lot of open space for you, so you're not feeling crowded. And again, of course, we're all so used to social distancing in this time frame. This is where you're going to feel it quite a bit, because it is so open and so beautiful on our Cunard ships. And our Royal Court Theater with private boxes where you can rent those boxes out to be able to see our wonderful theater productions and dance productions, and have your own butler service there with you. And again, if you are looking to twirl the night away, the largest dance floor at sea is with Cunard. Now, for some of you who don't like to go dancing, or maybe not those big dancers, or you feel, you don't want to show up the other guests, not to worry. We have gentlemen hosts and female hosts available for you to be able to just borrow for a little while to spin yourself around the dance floor. Now, of course, we have fantastic spacious rooms, and on Queen Mary, we have single staterooms. So if you are looking to do some traveling on your own to meet some new friends along the way, talk to one of Shawn's team at Team Friesen, and they'll be able to price those out for you. But if you are looking to go in grand style, of course, choose one of our grill suites. As you can see, our Queen's Grill has a double-decker stateroom available for you. Princess Grills, again, large, luxurious suite for you, and your own private dining room for you, for all Grills guests. And of course, we also have our Britannia staterooms that are just as spacious and luxurious for your day. Now, of course, we're still not out of everything just yet, but things are changing so quickly, folks, that what I'm telling you right now may not be in effect in a few weeks, but at this point, I want to just bring it out to you that we are still asking for vaccination and testing for all guests, health screening. We do have fewer guests on board currently, so we are not traveling at full capacity. Our crew are also undergo testing several times during every voyage. We do have enhanced ventilation systems to improve the filtration system. We were always a cruises have always been a very clean environment. Wherever you've gone on, you're always seeing somebody doing something. But of course, we have stepped that up even more so in line with the latest guidelines from the CDC and our cruise line partners. And face masks are still required at this time in specific areas. But again, this is all going to change moving forward. And we have, of course, we've always had a top-notch medical team ready for you if for any reason that may happen. But again, they have been now enhanced training due to this pandemic that we've been going through. So on Cunard, we want you to experience a journey like no other. We have sailings from 2 to 31 nights for all different types of destinations. Now, have you ever thought of taking a transatlantic from London to New York or New York to London? We call it better than business class. Take a transatlantic journey across the ocean on a Cunard ship, relaxing and grabbing that book at our library and taking the time to read there. Think about that next time you're thinking of doing a trip overseas. Instead of flying, take a 7-day cruise. And as you can see here, we have several options for you. Now it goes from 7 to 10 nights and departs from New York or Southampton or Hamburg. We also have Fort Lauderdale to Southampton choices as well. Again, lots of different dates for you to be able to choose from. Again, speak to Team Friesen to book your transatlantic crossing with Cunard. Now for 2022 and beyond, we always have event voyages, and this is just a taste of a few of them. For 2022, for May 15th, our New York to London transatlantic on the Queen Mary 2, the London Theatre comes on board and is at London Theatre at sea with us. We also have a National Symphony Orchestra going October 23rd, our Art and Design Week in August, and the Literature Festival at Sea from New York to London in early December. And we also have Fashion Week, we have Space Week. There's many, many different types of event voyages, but this is just to give you a taste of what is available on Cunard. This one I am personally very proud of, and hopefully I will be able to join this lovely group of people. This is the Greatest Generation cruise, sailing from New York to London on the beloved Queen Mary 2. And this is attended by lecturers from World War II veterans, hearing about how they were at the Battle of the Atlantic, D-Day landings. So many wonderful people that will be there to tell you their human element on how they dealt with the war and their experiences throughout the past. And it is an incredible bunch of human beings that, and we're just so excited to see these wonderful war heroes on board our ship to talk about their experience. So if that is something you'd like to do, we do have a question and answer period as well. Please join us for our Greatest Generation cruise on Queen Mary 2. Now, Queen Mary 2 will also be sailing through the Caribbean starting on my birthday, March 27th, for 21 days. So sadly, I'm not able to do this one this year, but I'm going to look for it for next year, doing round trip New York, stopping in some favorite ports of call. But again, a great itinerary. You can drive there if you're close to the border. You can, and it's a quick flight to New York City and spend a couple of days in New York. This is a great trip. And then we have several other options here. But again, great ports of call: St. Lucia, St. Martin, St. Thomas, Barbados, Curacao. Too many to talk about, and so many other destinations to get to. And of course, Canada, New England. I know we live here in Canada, but have some of us even traveled through Canada, New England. You're stopping in Boston, Sydney, Quebec with an overnight stay. We also stop in Halifax. Come and try and take one of these wonderful voyages. The July 1st voyage is, of course, we'll celebrate not only our Independence Day, but also the US Independence Day with a fireworks celebration. So think about that as well. We also have Norway and the Northern Lights, November 1st, 12 nights stay for you available on Queen Mary 2. British Isles on Queen Victoria. Again, this is a wonderful 12-night round trip London with stops in Belfast and New Haven, too many ports of call to go through, and we have so many more itineraries to just give you a little taste on what you can do on Cunard. Now, Iceland and the Fjords, of course, a beautiful 14-night round trip Southampton. Again, now you can also pair this with your transatlantic. So check the dates on that so you can extend your stay, enjoying, of course, the beautiful Iceland and the Fjords. And with Cunard, this promotion is on right now. Treat yourself, and we want to provide you with up to $2,000 onboard credit. And if you choose the grill suites, your drinks package, your hotel and dining service charges will be included for you. Now, also, if you are going to book with Team Friesen starting tomorrow and for 1 week, Shawn and his team have a 1-week cruise sail on for you with Cunard, where you will also receive additional onboard credit as a thank you for booking with us and joining us for this presentation. So with Cunard, folks, our team is ready and we hope to see you on board soon.
I just wanted to jump in just for a second here, Christine. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say, Cunard's that special product that you may not think would be right for you. I got the chance to sail Queen Victoria from Hamburg to Kiel doing the Baltics. And, you know, you've got to dress up for dinner. You've got to do the ball, or, you know, there is the ballroom dancing. There is, you know, the 24-piece orchestra that plays. But when is the last time that you got to dress up? I mean, your suit, do you know if your suit even still fits you? It's time to try something different, try something unique. And if we embrace something, a product like this, which is totally different, they're masquerade balls, they have the Buccaneer ball, they have so many really neat, unique things. Talk to us about this. You might be surprised at what the product has to offer you, and it's really a blast sailing on Cunard. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So
and quite surprisingly, some sailings are very affordable. Right, there's some I've seen, sometimes we've seen transatlantics for as low as $5.99. So you know, we definitely want to talk to Team Friesen so they can find the best possible option for you and to find you the best possible offer. Now off to Princess and our best value ever, which is Princess Plus, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I want to talk to you about our new health and safety enhancements. Again, very excited about updating you all on this. So we have I want to talk about the pre-cruise testing that we have. Now, here is a chart to hopefully help you understand a little bit better as to what's going on. So if you are fully vaccinated, the CDC definition is received your primary series of COVID-19 vaccines with at least 14 days prior to embarkation. So please keep that in mind. You have to have had your vaccinations 14 days before you embark on our vessels. The pre-travel test type, an antigen test, must be completed 2 days before boarding, or if you are doing a PCR test, 3 days before boarding, because we do know it does take a little bit longer to obtain your PCR testing. Now, if you have received all recommended vaccines, including any boosters, you are eligible in at least 7 days before embarkation. Again, antigen test is now 3 days and a PCR test is up to 3 days. And if you are not vaccinated, not fully vaccinated, a PCR test is required for you to board us. Now, masks on board will be recommended, but are not going to be required. That's policy in effect as of March 1st. Again, we see a little shake. Yes, this is so great. It's getting to that point, folks. So again, in some instances, we will be requiring that you will have to wear your mask. But again, that'll be determined on where we're sailing to, et cetera, and what is recommended by the CDC. Again, and kids under 5 may sail and will not count towards our non-vaccinated limit, which is at 5%. So we want to just make sure that if you do have any further questions on this, your Team Friesen is fully up to date on all of these options, or you can go to princess.com/cruise health FAQ. Now, we still have our book with confidence in place, which means if you make any bookings, which you're going to within the next week with Team Friesen. So this is before March 31st, 2022 for cruises sailing up to September 30th of 2022. You are able to change your plans 30 days prior to your embarkation in your cruise, and you receive your cancellation fees as a future cruise credit, so which can be used at a later date. Now, you can receive the same future cruise credit if you request a refund within 30 days of your sailing date, if you happen to test positive for COVID. But we're going to just put it out there. We are saying we're going to be past this, folks, and let's just focus on what we do best, and that is travel. We are the destination leader. You know, everybody has beautiful ships, everybody has great food, everybody has a great crew. Princess is the destination leader. And why is that? Well, of course, we do take you all over the world. But we're going to start off in Europe, as Shawn mentioned, and this is a departure ports that we go to. But this is a much better picture. We have 110 ports of call, over 110. So you can see we do saturate the destination points for you, and we always change them up just a little bit. So if you've been sailing with us for years, you know, you're not going to get the same old itinerary. We plunk in different itineraries and change them around just enough so that you don't have experience every single time. Now, this is just breaking news. Enchanted is going to be doing round trip Southampton for her 2022 season from April till September of 2022. Now, we also have transatlantic sailings to or from Southampton with her as well. But again, 17 cruises ranging from 4 to 25 days. Speak to your wonderful Team Friesen to find out where you can go on Enchanted, which, by the way, is our newest ship right now, because we have not taken over Discovery Princess, which will be on the West Coast. But that's another day and another presentation, folks, to talk about Discovery. We're focusing on Enchanted Princess right now. So again, we have so many itineraries, so little time to talk about it. So this, again, is just going to be a little bit of a taste of some of the places that we do go to. But this one is one of my favorites. 12-day British Isles round trip Southampton. So again, remember, Cunard, take the transatlantic over from New York, and then you get on a Princess ship afterwards, sailing to Cork, Belfast, Glasgow, Inverness, Edinburgh, Dublin, and Guernsey, and of course, Paris and Normandy. We also have late night stays in Belfast and Dublin. So when you are looking, I'll talk a little bit about that later, but also do not forget to include 10-day Oktoberfest sailings that we have for you to choose from. Lots of time to look at this. We do have space available, but it is going to be filling up fast now that we have this new announcement coming through from the government. Again, going back to Iceland and Norway, my goodness, two amazing destinations. And we tried to get you to as many of these ports of call that people are interested in, including our 14-day Iceland and Norway. Again, round trip Southampton. You're going to get sick of hearing it, but you're going to remember it. Take that transatlantic crossing on Cunard and then get on the ship afterwards. So again, I know how to say Reykjavik, but the rest of them, forget it. We know they're beautiful. It's in Iceland, it's in Norway. Elsund, am I saying that right, Shawn? I always get tripped up, right? So I want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm
see?
Brundon Fjordur. We should really take a course on how to do
We need to go so we can make sure we're not butchering the way.
There we go.
I say let's get a group together and we'll all learn together, folks, right? So you're all chuckling, but you know what? My mom always said you can't be beautiful and smart, honey, so take a pick. I'm still trying to figure it out. So
if you're neither.
She was a lovely lady. Okay, so the Mediterranean, 7 to 22 days from Barcelona, Rome, and Athens options. This one is our Athens to Barcelona, which also stops in Santorini, Kotor, Montenegro. I've personally been there. My gosh, beauty beyond beauty. It is just, as soon as I got off, sailed into the port, just looking at all the mountains around us, it just took my breath away. So if you ever get a chance to go to this beautiful port, I highly recommend it. And of course, Sicily, Naples, and Barcelona combines with our sailings to Crete with 14, 21, or 28-day voyages. My goodness, again, way too many choices to choose from, but don't forget there are late nights in Jerusalem and Galilee. So here's our 14-day med. So if you're looking to hit as many ports of call as you can doing Mediterranean Israel, this is another option for you. Round trip Rome, including Athens, Mykonos, Kusadasi. Again, we talked about Jerusalem and Bethlehem, and Sicily is in there as well. Just looking at this map gives you an idea of how many ports of call intensified we offer to you, so that you're getting the most for your destination buck.
And it's a great way to go to the Holy Land, because I mean, you're there, you go back to the ship, you can see tons of Israel in 2 days. So
Absolutely. And again, with this 21-day option also, we're adding in Istanbul, Kusadasi, Mykonos, Santorini, Crete, and Gibraltar, just to add on top of the other wonderful ports, as well as Marseille, Genoa, Florence. It is, if you're going to invest in flying overseas, make sure you're taking the time to decide what are the ports that are best for you. And as you can see, as I mentioned before, Princess likes to give you a little bit of a taste of everything, so that you're being able to get as much as you can in a small period of time. Now, when you are looking at our online brochures, we do have a little red box that says more ashore. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we are at our ports of call later than normal. So you do know, if you're a traditional cruiser or if you're a first-time cruiser and you're seeing our presentation for the first time, welcome. And know that normal times we usually leave between 4 and 6 o'clock on a port day. But some of our ports of call have late nights where we stay until 9 p.m. or later, or even overnight. As you can see, we have options in Venice and Norway. Now, of course, if you are going to go overseas, we want you to add on a cruise tour. And cruise tours are not only just for Alaska. We also have them for 6 nights on land and cruise with Italy, Spain, and of course, the Imperial Treasures to Copenhagen through Budapest. So make sure, again, talk to Team Friesen to add on a cruise tour with your Europe vacation. Of course, we also have the Ring of Kerry, which this one sells out quite quickly, folks. I do want to stress on that if you are looking for this, and on the eve of St. Paddy's Day, we want to make sure you know that this is one of the ones that does sell out quite quickly. And of course, our additional 6 nights with the UNESCO Best of Greece, and our UNESCO sites are included in this wonderful package. So again, ask your Team Friesen, they'll be happy to talk to you about all this. But now we are moving on to the other side. We are going to talk about Alaska, and Princess has been #1 in Alaska for 19 straight years. And this is by travel advisors who recommend us. Shawn, I know I've both been in Alaska together. We've sailed on a few different cruise lines in Alaska, and I'm not being biased, but I absolutely love how Princess takes care of you from start to finish, and we'll talk a bit about that now. But why Alaska? We are just coming out of our cold season here. It's not like it up there. It is a different experience, but the reason people go is for the glaciers, the mountains, and the wildlife. And on a Princess cruise, you absolutely get to enjoy all of this. And we design our trips around this whole concept. Now, how do you visit Alaska with Princess? We have several options. You can do round trip cruises, which is an inside passage, our one-way cruises, which is our north or southbound Voyage of the Glaciers, or our cruise tours, which add on the train and our personal lodges that I'll talk a little bit about later. Now, I've personally done this shore excursion, which is in the middle, which is our Deadliest Catch. And we have the captains from the Deadliest Catch television show that do run these programs. And it is so majestic, so beautiful. The wildlife you see, literally you are seeing whales jump out of the water, eagles flying in to grab fish right out of the water, right in front of you. It is a sight to see. And until you go, you will not be able to really appreciate what we're talking about. Now, talk about our round trip cruises. This is our inside passage. Our options are 7 to 12 days. There is a glacier viewing experience on all of our cruises. And our Vancouver, we have 12-day options, San Francisco, 10 days, and Seattle, 7 days. This is just a quick overview of our inside passage. So you do still see Glacier Bay National Park when you are going through our Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier is your glacier viewing experience when you are sailing with us. Now, when you're doing our one-way cruises, our Voyage of the Glaciers are 7 days between Vancouver and Whittier, or Anchorage, as well as it's known by. 2 glacier viewing experiences on a Voyage of the Glaciers sailing. You will always see Glacier Bay National Park, or you will see Hubbard Glacier or College Fjord. You will cruise the Gulf of Alaska as well, and you get to see more of the inside passage when you're cruising. So this again gives you a better indication as to how far up you will actually be going when you are doing a north and southbound. Now, of course, in Juneau, the capital of Alaska, we want to encourage you to look at our helicopter glacier to go see the sled dogs. In Ketchikan, it is known as the salmon capital of the world. And this is where you can do one of our shore excursions where we call it Cook My Catch. So if you're a savvy fisherman or fisher person, or you are looking to maybe just try your luck, if you go out on this wonderful excursion and you catch a fish, we bring it on board for you, and our chef cooks it for you, serves it to you for dinner that evening. And that is in Ketchikan. And of course, a beautiful Creek Street is there where you can do the lumberjack show and the zip lining. And then we're off to Skagway, what brings you back to the gold rush. And it's so scenic there. You're in between the mountains. This is an itinerary that I personally love. And if I could go to Alaska every single year, I would. You're always going to see something different. And as I mentioned, I've had the pleasure of going a few times, and I would go again and again and again. And I was talking about all these wonderful shore excursions here. We also have Libby Riddles, who's the first woman to win the Iditarod dog sled race. She comes on board with her wonderful dogs and talks to all the guests. We have park rangers that come on board. We have lumberjacks that are on. And of course, the biggest draw of all is puppies in the piazza. We bring the puppies that are being trained to be Iditarod dog sled racers off the glacier and onto the ship to interact with you. Now, I do want to stress that we do count the puppies before and after. So you can't take one home with you. I know you may want to, but they have to stay. So we do have our Alaska cruise tour, which is 7 days with a minimum of 3 ports of call, plus Glacier Bay National Park. Then you also have our train option, which is 500 miles of track, brings you right into the heart of Alaska. And it does take several hours for you to get there. So we want you to go by train. So much to see along the way. And then every cruise tour gives you the option to visit Denali National Park. Now, we do call this the direct to the wilderness rail service. And literally, as you see in that top middle picture, that is our ship, which is waiting right next to where the train station is, to take you in our glass domed rail cars to the heart of Alaska and to your first lodge destination. So it all happens the same day. We have a way of taking your luggage for you, if it's pre or post, whatever it is. So you just go with a carry-on onto our trains, make sure you have your medication and anything else you may need with you. And we will take care of your main luggage. And if you're taking the land trip first, we take your luggage as soon as you get to your first lodge. And then next time you'll see your big luggage will be on the ship. Or if you're taking the ship first and you're getting off, once you leave the ship, that luggage will then be on your plane for you when you are ready to go home. So we call it, as I mentioned, the Direct to the Wilderness Service, and that is a Princess exclusive. So know that you are dealing with Princess from start to finish with your cruise and cruise tour. Your food and beverage is also available for you on the trains as well. And we have guides that are on board that tell you what you're seeing as we're going by. They're all glass domes, so you're able to have wonderful viewing experience. And this brings you, as I mentioned, direct to our Denali area lodges. Now we own and operate 5 different lodges. Most people will see Denali and Mount McKinley. Some will also see Fairbanks, and Copper River and Kenai are a little off the beaten path. So if you are looking to do some wonderful fishing, those are the 2 places to go to. And we just add on some extra night stays for you. And this is just a great lodge location map for you to see in green. You see where Kenai is just off the path a little bit. Mount McKinley in the red and Denali in the red as well are, as I mentioned, are right on either side of Denali National Park. So you're able to, once we take you to Denali, we do take you for a tour in there. And again, that is included in your package. Now, I often get a question this, and I know our team Friesen and travel advisors also get asked this: what is the best time to go? So May and September are a little more cost effective, as that is one of the options for you. But also in September, it's the best time for you to see the Northern Lights. It's always a great time to see any type of wildlife. But again, in certain months, you may see a little more or less of that. June and July, long days. It's very light out for the entire time. I personally have been in May, June, and July. And July, I kept my balcony door open the whole time because it was so warm, so beautiful, and just to have the light out all night long, it was quite a bit to adjust to, but it's a nice option, just something different for you to try. The weather gets a little cooler when you're going into August and September, of course. And even though it says May and June that it does rain there, trust me, it's extremely very brief, and you don't really miss that at all. Doesn't really come into effect. So now with all of our cruises, we have our Princess Medallion class, and I'm super excited. Shawn has already experienced this. Am I right, Shawn? And I personally don't know if I can sail without Medallion. How about you?
It was amazing. You could be sitting beside the pool or wherever, order a drink because you're sailing with the drink package, the Princess Plus, and they'll find you. And I mean, who wants to wait at that big crowded bar now? So I mean, just that alone, besides being able to go into your cabin. I was sailing on Princess one day for my birthday, and when I got to the door, there was a happy birthday thing down on the screen, and it was a nice touch. So yeah, very cool.
A little surprise. Yeah, a little surprised to say that we were thinking of you. So, but yes, as Shawn mentioned, I really feel that, with Medallion, we were post pandemic ready for all this. You do not have to go stand in line waiting for a drink. You don't have to look for one of our crew members. So if you have your mobile device with you, or if you have, or if you do see a crew member, you can wave them down and order a drink, but you can easily just sit on your deck chair and say, you know what, I feel like a hot dog and a beer. And you can order that directly off your app. It doesn't cost you any money. And one of our crew members starts making it. You'll see a little ship where it says, oh, it's on its way. And they're able to locate you through your Medallion device. So now we also have, as Shawn mentioned, Kilu stateroom entry. You can play games on there. You board the ship faster. You are literally getting to the port. You walk up, you show your ID, your Medallion is handed to you, and you are on board in minutes, right? It's absolutely amazing. Now, we do want to stress that we have the best Wi-Fi at sea, and this is my lovely daughter, Sarah. She is actually doing homework that her teacher assigned her. We were in 2019, we were sailing on Sky Princess on the inaugural in Italy. And she said, Mom, I've got this assignment due. What do I do? I said, well, I have a meeting, so you go get your homework done. And so she thought I'm going to go sit outside and I'm going to send my homework to school. She was able to get it done and off it goes. So if you are someone that still wants to stay connected to home or work, trust me, it works. She got her assignment on time. Actually, first time ever, and that's fine. She was able to do it, but why not? She was still able to do a wonderful cruise. And as Shawn mentioned, whatever you need is delivered. And when we say whatever, it is whatever. And here's some examples. You need some ice to your cabin. Maybe you want some extra pillows. You want some food. Maybe you had a little bit too much to drink because it's St. Paddy's Day tomorrow and you need some Advil brought up to you or some sort of medicine to help you out. We go to the store and get it for you and bring it upstairs and it's charged to your account. Now, of course, pillows and robes and all that stuff you don't have to worry about. But again, if you happen to know that you found something at the spa that you wanted to purchase, we'll even get that and deliver it directly to you. Now, our enhanced, this for me, I think is huge. Of course, our touchless embarkation and staggered arrival time. So there is not big lineups anymore, waiting outside in that hot weather, wherever you are. This is great, very streamlined. Our safety training, again, this is big news, Shawn, and I think you enjoyed this as well. I know I did. So instead of going to your cabin when we hear the horn blowing for our muster station drill and grabbing your life jacket and standing in the area with all your new friends, you don't have to do that anymore. As soon as you step on board, we ask watch the simplified guest safety training, which is either on TV in your stateroom or again on your Medallion app. We are then notified that you have done this service for us and we know that you know the safety drills as we have explained them to you. And then all we ask is you stop at your muster station without a life jacket and just let us know that you know where to go in case of an emergency. And then it's done. So you can do that as quickly as possible, or of course, before sailing. Your health and questionnaire, everything's done on your app before you go, touchless payments. And then if you're looking for the party or where everybody's hanging around on the ship, you can actually check that out on your app or on the kiosks throughout the ship and see, is it really busy at Take 5 Dance Bar? It's not too bad. I think I'm going to go there for a night. Or if you are looking for where everybody's hanging out, maybe it's Vines, you can go down there as well. We do this so that if we have a large group of people congregating in a certain bar area and we're not too busy somewhere else, we want to make sure that you're being taken care of and pampered because you are on vacation. So we're going to take those crew members from that other area of the ship and bring them to you so that you don't have to wait for drinks, you don't have to wait for any food, and you can interact with our wonderful crew. What did you think of that, Shawn?
That was cool. I mean, amazing. It just really takes the guesswork out of like, where's a quiet place to go or where is the action at? It's, right on your phone. So it's
absolutely. Or on the kiosk. I know Papa
kiosk,
dad, who always says a cruise is not a cruise unless it's 10 days or longer. He doesn't have a cell phone. So he would use uses the kiosk throughout the ship. So
I think I read about that one guy who doesn't have a cell phone. That must be him.
That's Papa Joe. Yeah. So we also have Dine My Way. Now, what is all that? That means that you can dine the way you do, when, how, who, and where. Now, what do we mean by that? So if you happen to be out and about and you in the morning, you say, what are we going to do for dinner tonight? Well, you can check on your app or on your kiosk in your room or throughout the ship and decide, do you want to go to the Ketchikan dining room tonight? Or do you want to go to Crown Grill or Sabatini's? You can make your reservations right then and there. If you happen to meet a new couple or you brought friends and family with you, you can actually add them to your dining table and choose where you want to eat and what time you want to eat. You do not have to stick to that. If you happen to come back from your shore excursion and you're a little tired and you just want to have a quick nap or a shower, you can change your time at any time to when you want to change your dining. This is a great option. We're really excited about this. And we think it'll be easier for all of you to decide who, where, when, and how you're going to eat your dinner. Because of course, this is your vacation. Now, Princess Plus is our evergreen offer, and it is our drinks, Wi-Fi, and our gratuities included. Now, we do also have another limited time offer going on right now. Some are on sale, so we want you to look up to 40% off some of our summer sailing. So again, talk to Team Friesen, and that's available up to May 3rd. And well, look at that. Of course, we have to have a St. Patty's Day sale. It has started on March 15th and goes through tomorrow. So again, with Shawn and his team, he's going to have this great bonus sale for Princess as well, where you'll have reduced deposit and receive your coupon booklet. Plus, they're going to get you, you're also going to have the 40% off plus $50 onboard spending for you to choose anything you want to do, maybe an excursion, a spa treatment, whatever you're looking to, or go to one of our wonderful specialty dining. So this is on till tomorrow, and we want you to take advantage of that. But in the meantime, I don't know, Shawn, did we get any questions come in?
Well, thank you for asking. If you've got any questions, just pop it in the Q&A. I don't see any questions right now, and nothing in the chat, but if you got a question, just throw it in there now. I know that there's some questions about, safety, about will I feel safe aboard a ship? From my experience, I've been lucky enough to cruise several times since the restart, and I've got to say, there is no other place where everybody's vaccinated, everybody's tested. If you go to Disney World, let me tell you, like, you think there's no COVID there? So, I mean, cruising's a very safe environment, and it's been great. We've got a question. Is the Medallion service included in the cruise fare?
It absolutely is. This is completely free to use. So before, you used to have your key card that looks like a little credit card, and that's how you used to make your payments and get into your room. Now it looks like almost like a little Apple Watch kind of thing, and you can actually just keep it in your pocket. It is free to you. It'll have your name, the date, and the ship on there. It'll also have your loyalty color on the medallion. But we've also been told that if you're an NBA fan, you're going to be able to choose the NBA team of your choice to display on your medallion as well. That's coming, but okay. I like to show off my status, my elite status on Princess.
Yeah. And what I love about it is if you are going up to a bar, they don't have to, because you are close enough to their receiver, they see your face pop up on their screen. They know, Mr. Friesen, what can I get you or whatever. So it's very cool. And
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because my girlfriend just went on. She hasn't been on Princess in a while, her and her husband, and they'd ordered a drink, and the crew member said, "Thanks, here you go, Shawn." And then, "Oh, here you go." And she just sat back and she thought, "Did I tell them my name? I don't want to be telling them my name." And it was her birthday too. And they said, "Well, and happy birthday to you, Kim."
Yeah.
Said, "Wait a minute, how did you know about this?" And then they also have their preferences of what type of wine, what type of drinks they like to have. So all of that's there for them, so that the guesswork is taken out of it. And so the crew feels so much more connected to you as well. And they're so happy. Our crew, we love them so much. We are so thankful that they've stuck with us, and that they were so patient to come back. They are so happy and waiting for you to come on board. I personally was on in November for Panama Canal, and I got very emotional going up anyway, because every crew member they've always smiled, but they were just so happy to see guests. So we are so looking forward to seeing everybody on board.
And when you board, talk to the crewmen about where were you March of 2020, because they've all got these fascinating stories. I talked to a gentleman. He had been working on ships for 15 years. He said that he had rotated off February of 2020. He was supposed to be back in 6 weeks. He didn't come back for 18 months. He said, "I'd never spent that long with my wife before." And he said his wife was ready for him to go back to work. So really funny. I got a question here. We're flying from Toronto 3 days before sailing. Where in Vancouver can you get a COVID test before boarding? Let me take that. I mean, Shoppers Drug Mart, they're doing the test for, I think it's $40. And yeah, and that test is good enough to board. So,
And it is 3 days, or 2 days for antigen. And 3 days. So we're changing it. So just keep an eye on it. So I'm not sure when you're sailing. You're probably you're sailing for Alaska. That might change again. So again, just keep checking your team Friesen advisor will make sure they're on top of what the changes are. So.
And there's another question. I'm learning to play the piano. Is there a keyboard on the ship?
Yes, well, we have pianos available there. I'm sure there's a keyboard, but I don't know if that one would be available to you, but we do have a piano down in our ground lobby.
Okay, good. Well, those are all the questions that I see. So, what percentage of the guest occupancy on the Princess ships at this time?
We have never been told exactly what the percentage is, but I would say for my cruise back in November, we were about 50%. I believe we're going to be at 100% for the next few months until the CDC says it's okay. But we are definitely not at 100% and will not be for the next little bit. Shawn, you agree with that?
Yeah, the feedback that we're getting, Princess and other cruise lines down in the space, they've been running 35 to 50% full. I cruised in February on one of the family cruise lines, and they were at 50%. So a couple more late questions coming in. What is the legal drinking age on Princess? I have girls at 19 and 23.
21
for North America.
For North America, yeah.
Younger in the Med? Isn't it 18 or 19?
I don't know if we changed that. I believe so. It just depends. I'd have to check on that to be safe.
Okay. And then is masking still required at the shows?
So that is one of the ones that we may still ask you to wear a mask. But again, if we are not at full capacity, the shows are not going to be at full capacity either. So again, it's going to depend on the venue, and we'll be able to determine it there. But again, you will have to wear it in certain areas. But again, folks, that could change in the next month or so. It's on the CDC to make some decisions. So let's put a positive outlook out there on it and say, let's get rid of it as soon as we can, and we'll hopefully not have to deal with these kind of situations moving forward.
Sounds great. Well, Christine, I just want to thank you for, joining us tonight and, just talking about your brands and travel and just, about getting back to normal and super exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, we would love to help plan your next cruise. We can book right into 2024. We were talking about, 2022, close in, because so many of you are dying to go. And
let's say excited.
Let's get excited. Princess has got a world cruise for 2024. There's still space. We have a number of people cruising, 100 in, I think it's 15 days or something. It's a wonderful way to spend winter. So give us a call, talk to your travel consultant. We would love to be your travel agent and love to send you on amazing things. We want to help you create memories and fulfill your travel dreams. So talk to us, let us know, and thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks, Christine.
Anytime, Shawn. Bye, everybody.